Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Today, we are speaking about assessing the situation instead of judging it. Here's an example. You say, I'm living a healthier diet, but you want this particular thing. Because you are used to eating it. You say to yourself, oh, but that's bad for me. And if I do that, this is going to happen and that's going to happen. You see, we are judging the situation. Yes, you want to live a healthier lifestyle. But what good is it to deprive the self? You see, if you go out and you get, now I like cheesecake, but I get the little mini ones, like the brownie bites, that really small one. And it's so rich. I eat one, and the desire goes away. Because what happens when you deprive yourself of something, you still keep wanting it, and you still keep wanting it, and you still keep wanting it until you binge. And then you end up feeling worse than if you'd have just had a small portion of it. You see, it is the assessment of the situation. It is the assessment of the situation. You go, you look at it, and you say, oh, but I feel so guilty if I do this. You see, guilt has nothing to do with food. Guilt is your feeling about food. Food must be put in its place. It's to nourish the body. It nourishes the body. So when you choose your food, you choose what you want that will nourish your body. This is what we do. But life is meant to be enjoyed. So if you want that thing, you have a morsel of it. And as you have the morsel, you remind yourself, you know what? I'm learning a new way to be. This desire will dissipate because now I can refocus myself over here. But the minute we stop and we beat ourselves up, you get to beat yourself up some more. That's why when you assess the situation and you look at it and you say, okay, the best option for me is this. You notice how that best option is not based upon, well, you should only be eating this or you should only be eating that. I don't know what you like to eat. And I don't know why you like to eat it. Only you do. So you assess your own situation. Because if you look at Tom, Dick, Harry, Mary Jane, and George, they're all going to tell you something different. This is why it is imperative that you know yourself so that you are not led astray. And things like guilt and shame, when it comes to experiences in life, are not needed. The guilt is there because somebody put it there. That's why it is there. And when you assess the situation, these are the things you'll begin to notice. You see, we all live in this world. And we all want things. We all want to experience things. And that is perfectly fine. And this is why if you look at your life and you say, you know what, I like, well, you name what that thing is that you like. You just like it. But what we tend to do is we obsess and we fret and we worry and we beat ourselves up. That is judgment. That will not get us anywhere but backwards because you're always moving. So when you are looking at your life and you're in a situation, assess that situation. Look at it. Is this of a benefit to me? You see, sometimes we replace what we're supposed to be dealing with, we don't want to look at it. And we say things like, I'm really tired. I've been trying to change and I can't. See that phrase? That is a judgment. I've been trying to, but I cannot. Assess the situation. Look at it. And if you look at it, you will realize that the behavior is a habit. And then you ask yourself, what new habit do I want to do instead? You know, I don't want to be codependent. I want to be free. I want to make my own choices. I want to be bold. From codependency to self-dependency. Polarity, from, to. So how does a person who is self-dependent behave? They know how to interact with people. They know how to take advice or whatever the situation is, but they always seek the self first. They also know how to start habits. If you say things like, I tried that and it doesn't work, I'm still doing the same old thing. Why can't I change? Assess the situation. Look at it. You do not want to do that. So what do you want to do? You see, the time that we spend to sit there and say, oh, I can't. That's the old way of doing things. The new way of doing things is to look at it and say, okay, I'm currently doing this and I would prefer to do that. So what behavior can I start doing now that the more I do it, I become that thing? We do not sit in the corner and we do not sit there and we do not wallow. Because the minute we entertain that, it becomes heavier. Why does it become heavier? Because the more you put your attention somewhere, it builds momentum. It just starts and it spins and it spins and it spins. And then when you want to shrug it off, good God, it's so heavy. And then what do you say? Well, you see, it never changes, so I may as well stay here. All because we judged ourselves. Well, I can't do any better anyway. I've tried. So if it was going to work, it would have. And I will always give you the analogy of the small child who's learning to walk. They fall down and they get up. And they get up. You must keep doing the new thing until it takes hold. You do the new thing until it takes hold. This is how we change. Change requires consistency and it requires persistence. Consistency because you must get up and do the same thing every single time. Persistence because some days you just won't want to. But you see, you've got to be driven by the thing that is bigger. What's bigger? Your desire to change. Neville Goddard says the desire to change must be stronger than the desire to remain the same. Right? Because I hear it all the time. I want to change, but you know what? I've been this way for so long. But look at it. They want to change because they hate where they're at. But then they say they're tired. And I told you why you get tired. We get tired because the thing that you are currently doing has so much strength. It has so much momentum. And that's what you keep fighting. It is going to wear you down. So you must get up and you assess. You look at polarity and you say, I am here now and I want to be there. What's my first step? Recognition. You can't ignore it. You can't sweep it under the rug. You can't hide it. You cannot run from it. But if you look at it and you say, I am here and I want to be there. My first step is recognition. Okay, I see where I am and I see where I want to go to. Step 2, what behavior? What behavior can I do right now that takes me towards where I want to be? Does that mean you're getting up earlier? Does that mean you're spending an extra 5 minutes in quiet? Then once you make that decision, keep making that decision. If you do it for 7 days and on the 8th day you say, ugh, I'm so tired, get up and do it. Why do you get up and do it? You see, because the body has an association. It is firmly associated with the way that you are now, and it will keep you there. It will keep you there if you do not keep telling it where you want to be instead. This is why you assess, don't judge. You redirect the body. You look at the situation, go, oh, I see, that's my old habit. That's okay, we're over here. And the more you redirect to over here that you want to be at, it is only a matter of persistence that your body will say, oh, so we're doing something new, are we? But that's what it takes. Because if you do not do it that way, you will stay where you are. And when you stay where you are and you hate where you have stayed, do I need to tell you more? We get up. And you don't fight the old, because you cannot. It is too big, it is too heavy. But you look at it and you say, that's my old way. Okay, here's the new action. And you keep doing the new action. The new action must be done. This is why the child learning to walk continually gets up until they stop teetering. And when they take that first step without falling, they are what? Encouraged. They become more confident, and they take the next step. And they take the next, and then they become even more bold. And then they look you in the eyes, and they walk, and then they start to run. But we cannot sit. We cannot sit because everything moves. Everything moves, so you can't sit. So the encouragement for you today, assess where you are at. Look at it. But when you look at it, you don't look at it and say, you see, I've been here for 20 years. I'm never going to change. I'm so useless. Look at how quick that thing rises up. I've been doing it my whole life. And because you've been doing it your whole life and you don't want to continue doing it, then you get up. Then you get up and you implement the new behavior. But it is hard, Angela. And ask yourself this question. Am I happy right there in this position? And if the answer is no, then why stay there? And I told you, we stay there because it is familiar and it is safe, because that is what the body does. When a habit takes a hold, it takes a hold because the body must survive. That is how it functions. But you are in your body. You can do this. You sure can. And it starts with one small step in the direction you want to go in. Every single time. It doesn't matter if you fall down, get up. Just, you get up and you do the new action again. You fall, get up and do the new action again. You fall, get up and do the new action. You know why? Because every time you fall and you get up, you're a little bit stronger. You are a little bit stronger. And the space between where you were and where you want to be, you are now closer to where you want to be. You're further away from what you were. But it doesn't look that way, does it? And you'll know when your new habit has taken root, because then you'll stop and go, oh my God, I used to do that. It's not that I don't care how hard it is to change. Do not look at how hard it is. Look at the privilege. Look at the privilege that you get to change, or else you would have been stuck in the same old way and hating it. Look at that. That's what I mean when I say assess. So instead of things like, oh my God, that takes so much effort. But think about it for a moment. Do you want to stay where you are? No, you don't. You want to rise up and you want to be better than what you were. That's what you want. Then that is the driving force. That is the encouragement. The fact that you say, no, I don't have to stay there anymore. I know too much and I am too valuable to stay there. And you get up and you do the new behavior. That's why I say it's not that I don't care, but I understand. I understand what it feels like. My life may not have been like yours. Nobody's lives, we're never the same in our beginnings. We're never the same in our beginnings. Our lives have been different. We were raised differently, each and every one of us. But the beauty and the privilege is this, that if you look at something in your life and you don't like it, you don't like your behavior. You notice how I'm not talking about anybody else. I don't like the way they treat me. It has nothing to do with them. Leave them alone. Focus on you. If you don't like your behavior, if you don't like the trajectory of your life, assess it. Look at it through the eyes of polarity. From to. Earl Nightingale always did say, a problem is halfway solved because you simply recognize you have the problem. So today, get this. Understand it. It is okay. It is okay to fall down. Of course it is. We all do it. But you know what's better? To get up and dust yourself off. Cliche, I know. But that getting up and dusting yourself off is by far easier to do when you do it with the law. Because you know what you want to do now. And you know what kind of effort it takes. It takes the effort of refocusing the mind and imitating the law. The more you do a particular thing, the stronger you become at it. So today, when you look in that mirror, you're not looking in the mirror to say, I'm so not good enough. That is not why you look in the mirror. You look in the mirror to make sure your face is clean and that your curls are popping. This is why you look in the mirror. You boost your confidence because it comes from you. As within, so without. So you choose what you're going to tell yourself. Oh, but you make it sound so easy, Angela. Because when you use the law, it is. The law is telling you that you are the cause. You are the cause of your change. You are the cause of your success. Not George and not Harry. Nobody can hold you back. Nobody. But you see what we do? We sit back and instead of assessing the situation, we look at who we think is better than we are. Oh, but they've been doing it for a lot less. Look at how further ahead they are. Do you know what goes on in their mind? No, you don't. So if you're going to look at somebody, you look at how their mind works. You don't look at what you think. Oh, but they're so much more successful than I am. And I've been really struggling. doing the same thing and they're way ahead of me. And there's 8 billion people on the planet. But there's only one you. There's only one you. So if you're busy comparing yourself to the next person and the next person, shoot, there's always somebody who's going to do it better than you, but not like you. I want you to see this today. Assess the situation. Don't judge and don't compare yourself to other people because you don't know their lives. You know nothing about them. And even if you did know about them, it is still irrelevant for you to compare yourself to them. Nothing will suck the passion out of you faster than comparison. So I'm not telling you anything I haven't lived. I'm living it. I see it and I understand. I have to get up and speak to myself. I see all these people out there doing the same thing I'm doing. But if I watched them shoot, I'd stop. I cannot stop. The light within me burns. So I must follow through. This is why when we sit in that place of frustration, you see the light is burning in you, and that's what's making you want to get up. But the habit of sitting and complaining is what keeps us there. That's why I tell you a habit is simply a behavior that you have practiced day in and day out, and you are now a boss at doing it. So if you know what a habit is and how it is made, well, is it not easier? Of course it is. Because now you know, I want to make a new habit. What is that behavior? What is that thing that I'm going to do consistently until it becomes? And that's what you do. You put your energy there. Because you know this also, that a habit makes you successful with whatever it is that you've practiced. So success is guaranteed, is it not? Of course it is. Yeah, but it's not moving fast enough. Stop looking at how fast it is going. Remember the law of rhythm. There's an ebb and there's a flow. There's never a permanent ebb and there's never a permanent flow. So today, assess the situation instead of judging it. This is the missive this morning. Assess it instead of judging it. When you assess the situation, you will know what change needs to be made. You'll know what change needs to be made because it will show itself. That character from Sesame Street just dropped into my mind. This is your life. It is. This is your life. This is your experience. Take charge of it. Oh, but Angela, it is easier said than done. Well then, start practicing. That's what makes it easier. That's what makes it easier. I'm not here to honeycoat it because I can't. Because I hear it too often in a day and I see it too frequently that people want to change. But they want to change, but stop. Get out your pad and paper because you know polarity. Where are you now? And where do you want to be instead? And the first step is writing it down, looking at it, say, oh, I'm here right now. And you list all the things. I don't like that I'm late. I don't like that I'm this. And right next to it, on the scale of polarity, if you don't want to be late, what do you want to be? on time or early. And you write that down. Okay, right now, as my father would say, I'm a little bit financially embarrassed, but I'd like to be financially abundant. And you write that down. So then, in between those two things, what can you do? It will show itself by way of an idea, and you follow through. But the changes come when you apply the law, because it gives you order, you understand? You will clearly see tardy, on time. And then in there you say, well, what can I do to be more on time? And all the ideas come. Set my clock 5 minutes earlier. Write it down on my to-do list. Right? And so now when you look at that list and you get up in the morning and you say, okay, I'm being on time today. I set my clock earlier. I wrote down what needed to be done. I'm organized. And you know what that does to you? It makes you feel incredibly confident about yourself. Why? Because you are doing something. You are going in the direction that you want to go in. And when you do that, it becomes ease, is what you're creating. But if you continue to sit and to complain about where you are, or how many times you ended up right back at the beginning, you're not right back at the beginning. It only appears that way because you're judging yourself. You're not at the beginning again. You're a little bit closer to where you want to be. You just have to get up. Trust me on this. Use the law at every turn. What are they? Let's see them. Mentalism. The all is mind. The universe is a mental creation. As within, so without. As above, so below. Everything vibrates between two poles, a swing to and fro, creating a rhythm, an ebb and a flow. Every cause has its effect, and every effect its cause. A projection of the will, masculine, giving life, giving form, feminine. When you start living those, because it all starts and ends with the thought. It does. Because the universe is a mental creation. But the other 6 are telling you whatever that thought is on the inside is what you experience on the outside. Because it moves. And it moves. You're moving between from and to. And the more you move between from and to, you get to create your own rhythm. You don't have it. Because you thought that particular way. And because you thought that particular way, you projected it into the womb of your own subconscious mind. This is what we're doing. Day in and day out. So today, be encouraged and understand this. Just understand it. That old habits, because we have a saying about that, don't we? Old habits die hard. Why do they die? Because you take your attention away from it to form the new habit. It is far easier to start a new habit than it is to break an old one. Why? Because every cause has its effect. To change the effect, you must modify the cause. So you want a new habit, do a new action. It is that easy. This is why you must be persistent. Okay, so you don't want to go to the gym today. Okay. It wasn't my decision that said, I'm going to have a healthier body. That was your decision. So you get up, and even though you don't want to go, you go. And then you begin to organize yourself better. If you find that you have more energy in the mornings, then that's when you go to the gym. If you find that you have more energy later in the day, then that's when you go. Go when you are at your height, because you have the energy to do so. Don't wait for the last when you're like, oh God, I just want to go home. This is why if you use polarity, you'd understand. Well, I procrastinate so much, but I'd like to do this instead. So then what's that step in there to get you to act instead of resting on the laurels? That's how you do it. It is very easy. But because we hear things like, man, it's so hard, life is a struggle. You gotta know somebody. You gotta be rich. No. You have to have the right quality of thought. You have to have a thought that propels you forward instead of a thought that drags you back. You see, lots of people may have been born with silver spoons in their mouths. But you can always tell the ones, even though they had a good start in life, you can always tell the ones who have a great mental capacity. Because they are the ones who continue to be that way and are always expanding themselves and growing themselves instead of just blowing all their money and partying because they don't care. That's a different mental attitude altogether. And I'll say her name, Paris Hilton. Every time I hear about her, she's got a new thing coming out. And when you listen to her, yeah, she may have been a party kid when she was younger, but she's driven. Yeah, but she was born with money. It is irrelevant that she was born with money. You see, look at what you just said. I'm showing you the mind of the person to get up every day and just create and do because she's driven. That's what you're looking at. You're not looking at what she started out with. Look at where her mind is now. That's why we don't judge. There's always a lesson to be learned from the least or the greatest. Always. Always a lesson. Let's take a moment to acknowledge the beautiful people in the space. Twitter, hey, Chad, I see you. Shea butter, I see you. Thanks for being here. It's good to see you on a lovely Friday. Now, for the other hand, Fanbase, Nadia, Her Ways, Matthias, Miss Ravioli, Jamea, Marlon, Malik, Zola, My Melanin, Miss McQueen, Shanice, Summer Rose, Elle, Yolanda. Y'all are amazing. Thank you for being here in the Fanbase space. YouTube, who's here? Let's start from the bottom and go all the way to the top of the page. Synovia, Nexodus, Long Live Eminon, Anot, The Better Man, Queen Marat. Oh, 359. Oh, baby, I haven't seen you in like forever. Welcome, honey, welcome. David, I see you. Asonia. And for the others in the they're just hidden there, they haven't made themselves known. Welcome, I see you. Thanks for being here. Yes, change requires consistency and persistence. It just does. Right? It does. Hey, Meep, I see you. Hello, Farah, I see you too. But this is the beauty of what you've been given. The beauty of what you have been given is the law. You no longer have to stay the way you started out. You can grow and become. Oh my God, there was a movie that we saw years ago, and she said to her son, live and become. That's what she told her son, live and become. And that one phrase stuck with me this whole time. I don't even remember the movie, but I'm sure if I Google that line, I'll find the name of the movie. But you see what I'm saying to you? Live and become. You don't have to stay the way that you currently are. Use the laws. Bring them to you. and use them in your specific situations. Let me tell you, my bestie, I love her. She always says to me, Angela, okay, you want to accomplish what now? You want to grow your platform? And she's like, you need marketing. You need to get out in front of people. She goes, you don't need product, get out. Because there's no need for product if you don't have anybody to give it to. So every day I get up, I ask myself, okay, from to, what can I do to bring more awareness of the law to people? That's just what drives me. The law and getting it out. That's it. So new ideas show up all the time. Testimonials, that came out of yesterday. It's posted in the community post. So sign up if you have a testimonial. Let's share it because we grow together. It's an encouragement for each other. Right? So it doesn't matter what that thing is. Assess where you are. Don't judge where you are. Well, how do you know? Because judgment makes you feel like garbage. Think about that. Think about that sensation in your body when you judge yourself. I can't. I'm such a loser. Think about how that feels to your body. And then the more you condition your body to have that sensation because you're judging yourself, your body says, oh, so this is how we're going to live now? Okay. And it will keep you there because it thinks that's what you want. Remember, it responds to you. It's an intuitive thing. So give it. This is why the scripture can tell you to train up a child in the way it should go, and it will not depart from it, because it knows how potent a habit is. That's what that scripture means. Yes, and I quote scripture because, shoot, that habit. That's how I grew up. So I don't look back and say, well, Christianity sucks and it's so bad for you. No, I take where the law is and I apply it. Remember, assess, don't judge. Anywho, I wanted you to know that today because, as I said, I'm seeing it far too often. It's like people want the change so badly. They do. And they just need to be encouraged to understand the reason why they think it is hard is because that's the way the habits have been designed. That's why we make new ones and we don't break old. That's the design of a habit. If they could be easily broken, come on, you'd never remember how to read. This is why they are built for death, right? They're built to endure. And so the encouragement is, yes, a habit may be built to endure, but it is also very simple to make one. Right? That is the encouragement. Change requires consistency and persistence. That is what it requires. Use the law, and that will be easier for you to manage because the law will keep you focused so that you're not, oh, I gotta do this, oh, gotta do that. No, the law will keep you focused because it is very specific. You're here now, and you want to go from to. From where to where? You write it down so you can see it. Because when you see your progress, you become inspired. And you can look back at it and say, wow, I did that. And I continue to do it every day. I'm glad I learned how to do it. You see that sensation now that rises up in your body when you acknowledge where the law is and how you used it. Now you gain something most valuable, experience. So be encouraged today You always assess where you are. You cannot sweep that under the rug because the rug just gets bigger. Well, assess it. Look at it. And get out your pencil and paper. I am here and I do this thing. I don't like it. See? So it's a stumbling block for you right there. But to make it a stepping stone, you say, I want to be over here. So I will do this, 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 and this. And you write out what you're going to, because you will clearly see what needs to be done. That's why I don't like the question, well, am I supposed to just sit on my couch and visualize? No. You make a decision about what it is you want to do in your life, and you use polarity, and you will see exactly what action steps you are required to take. And even though you have to take the action steps, they are considerably simpler than if you were just throwing mud at the wall and hoping for the best. You are much more focused when you use the law, because the law creates order. And if you've read the Emerald Tablets, you'd hear what Thoth says. He says, well, he didn't say it. It was told to him. The missive was, order your lives. Create order in your life. Let's see, there's 16 people on Fanbase. If we all had order in our lives that we created, right? How many other people do we come into contact with? Exactly. When you create order in your life, it spreads. But we want to change the world. How can you change the world if the individual that makes up the world is in disorder? This is what my father always said, charity begins at home. You must start with the self. So if you stop judging yourself, you will stop judging other people. This is why you assess your life so that you can live it better. That's all you're doing. And it is a privilege to do it. It is a pleasure to do it. Ponder that as you go about your day. Why is it a pleasure and a privilege to live your best life? Ask yourself that. Why is that a pleasure and a privilege? You'll get the answer. And when you get the answer, the light will go on. Aha, eureka, the moment you understand. That's what I'll tell you today. Because I love you, and struggle is no fun. Struggle is no fun, y'all. Nothing will wear you down faster than struggle. So, use the law. Use it. And I'll say this then. If you want more help using the law, you guys have my email. You have my email address. positivelyangela@shaw.ca. Or you can DM me on whatever platform you follow me on, or that we're friends on. Right? I need to fold my legs. Sorry. Message me, because I'm going to do another Q&A. So message me the situation, because we always keep them private, right? But we're going to go through it step by step by step. Every single time, because you'll need your pencil and paper to use polarity and write it down. And you'll begin to get so good at it, right? You won't need pen and paper anymore, or pencil and paper. You won't need it anymore. The more you do it, you just get better at it. But that's what we're going to do, because I find that this is where people struggle the most, in the application. Because we think it is hard. We think it's time consuming. Well, you got somewhere else to go? No. Clear that pathway for your success. That's what an elephant does, you know. It clears a path. Use elephant's energy. Clear the pathway. And you clear the pathway by being organized. That's what Daddy says. You got to be organized to be recognized. I'm like, thanks, Daddy. That's what he says all the time. Here's something you will realize, and I'll close with this. All chaos seeks to be ordered. All chaos seeks to be ordered. What does it mean? It means wherever there is in your life that you feel the frustration, that's chaos. And that's why you are searching for order. You're searching for the reprieve from the frustration, which is order. Every bit of chaos seeks to be ordered. It does. Anyhow, I love you all, and I thank you for being here. And, YouTube is always the last place to be closed, so if you want to catch the last remnants, because sometimes things come to me there, you can always find me over here, Positively Angela on YouTube. Countdown initiated. 5, 4. Yes, Emanon, the way you think does create the reality. Hello, Walter. 3. Change and balance. Yes, Synovia, indeed. 2, 1. Jeff, I see you. I love you, Twitter. Thanks for being here. And it's Friday, yes. We're going to enjoy ourselves all day, every day, yes? I will see y'all later. Much love, Twitter. Twitter is closed. Fabbase, I see you. Look, I have a hand free now. You see, that's the beauty, right? It really is the beauty of what we've been given. And I want us to use it with confidence. We don't have to sit there and go, oh, God, my family doesn't care about me. Oh, and I can say that one. My family doesn't care about me. I want them to love me. If you keep looking at that, I don't want to be alone. If you keep looking at that, it will drain your life from you. It will. And this is why every day, because my grandfather's birthday was 2 days ago, and I always marvel at how he did what he did. How he just made a declaration at the age of 8. That's when he was pulled out of school so he could go work. He said, I know what kind of man I'm going to be. I'm not going to abandon my children. If I ever get the opportunity to have a wife and children, I won't abandon them. I'll be there. And he grew up and he did it. Because he was abandoned. Seriously, he was abandoned. His father ran away. His mother died. But his father ran away. And I always marveled at the fact that how did he get his mind to do that at the age of 8? And he grew up and he did what he said he was going to do. They were married for 45 years before Grandma died. 8 children. He gave them all their property because he made sure they had a good start in their lives. Raised them all the same way he raised me. And I was like, and I always used to say, how come you're not mad? And he would say, why? That takes too much strength to be mad. My time is needed over here, so I have to focus here. And that encourages me. Every single day that encourages me. Because I'm like, how did he do it? How did he do this? What kind of mental fortitude did he have at that tender age of 8? And you could see it all through his life. And so then every time I want to give in to the, oh no, I can't. Every time I want to give in to that, I can hear him. I can hear him. I can see his face. I do have his picture on my dresser. But he's always there in the back of my mind, reminding me, get your mind right. Always he does it. And so sometimes when we reminisce and we think about things, right, it is always helpful to go back in your memory to find the thing that is most inspiring. Because this is what keeps you going forward. It is so important to have that. It really, truly is. And that's why I do what I do. Because I understand where we're at in this world. Because so many people want to change. And that's why I tell you all the time to share this information. Share it. I'm working on an ad right now so that more people will come to hear the laws and live them so they can change their lives. Like it's when I hear these things and I see them, I'm not saddened by them. I'm inspired by them because it says that people are seeking, and they're seeking to change. They're seeking a deeper understanding. That's what it says to me. And it fires me up even more. But it is law, though. As within, so without. Causation, cause and effect. Because they're looking, I'm drawn to share. You see, that's why I encourage you every day. You have it within you. You have what it takes. There's no giving up. Develop some tenacity. Determination. That's what we develop. Develop that tenacity. Why be tenacious? Tenacious means you don't let go. Especially when you're dealing with your change. You are determined. And you put in your practice. And your effort is in your practice. That's where you put your efforts, your time, and your energy in your change. That's where you put it. We put it there. And we do it with joy. I want you to, honestly, do it with joy. It is a privilege to know the law and to change by way of the law. That is a privilege. Because if you look around, not everybody knows it. But it is a privilege. Because you no longer have to remain the same. You don't. That's what I want you to understand. Because change is beautiful. It's beautiful because you are the one initiating the change. So it's not a surprise what the outcome will be. That's why it is always best that you initiate your change. Because then you know exactly how it's going to go. But if that change just, oh, we're doing this today, you're like, what? You become a little bit uncertain. You become a little bit uncertain when somebody else is making the change. That's why you initiate your change. Initiate your own change. Because then you know exactly what you want to accomplish. You know where you want to go. There aren't any surprises. Cause and effect will tell you that. There are no surprises. Every cause has its effect. So how can you be surprised? You know exactly how it's going to turn out. That is your encouragement today. Because it is important that we do it. Because I hear it all too often. Oh, I did that. Yeah, you did. What are you doing now? You do. And you do, and you do, and you do. And you do. And you do it some more. This is the beauty of what we've been given. recognize whatever that problem is, the undesirable thing. And you don't fight it. You just recognize it and see it. Like, ah, I see you. And then you take yourself from to where you want to be instead. It is just practice, my friends. It truly is just practice. And it's okay. It truly is okay if you sit there for a quick moment and say, whew, let me catch my breath. That's what we do. We don't give up. We surrender to the law. There's that word, huh? Surrender to the law. See, because when we hear the word surrender, we think we're waving the white flag and we're going to be prisoner to someone. No. Allow the law. You see, it's like my bestie, she gave me this analogy. You're out in the ocean. You can't swim. But if you lay back on the water, you'll float. That is to surrender to the power of the water. Because if you can't swim, you're going to struggle. Shoot, you may even drown. But if you lay back in the water, back float, you'll float on top of the water. Surface tension. That's what the law does. Makes it easier. It makes it easier. And allow the current. Because here's the thing with the law, right? You don't just end up any old place. Once you make the decision, then that's where you'll end up. Always choose the destination. This is why Neville Goddard can tell you to live in the end. Choose the destination. Destination activated. Right? Choose the destination. You'll end up there. Because you're using the law. Use it. It is the most beautiful fragrance. A beautiful jewel. That's why the scripture can tell you wisdom is more valuable than rubies. The law will give you wisdom. And when you know the law, shoot, you think rubies are a problem? You'll begin to see the true value of things and the true value of your life. Your life has value and your life has meaning. You give it that. Because believe me, if we listen to our families all the time, man, some of us will never leave the house. Talking from experience. What are you supposed to do? Cut them off? You're supposed to fully immerse yourself in the law. And everything will work itself out according to law. That's why I tell you, you sit and you focus on the law, where you want to be. Because then you'll begin to see what it is. Well, my family's not very close, so what do you want? That means you want companionship. But what kind of companionship do you want? Then you begin to realize, well, I'm reliable. And you write down reliable companionship because you're recreating yourself. Every time you're recreating yourself. I'm going to stop there. We have beauty, my friends, deep within us. Allow it to emerge. You are the Michelangelo, as well as the David. And the law is your chisel and mallet. Shape yourself with it. Shape your life with the chisel and the mallet of the law. Shape your life with it. Because it can only be beautiful. It can only be beautiful. All right? And with that, my beautiful friends, I bid you adieu. Nighttime guided meditation, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. And I'll see you there. Peace out. I love you all. Thank you for your help, Yolanda. YouTube. Ah, Queen Marat. Yes, it is, isn't it? It's just us now. I'm not going to keep you. There's 13 of you here. I'm not going to keep you. But I love you guys so much. I really do. I really, really do. And this morning I lay in my bed and I said, what do I need to say so that they understand how powerful the law is and to use it instead of judging themselves so much? And don't you for one moment think that I don't do that. Of course I do it. I'm still learning a new way to be. I have to banish those thoughts as well. Really, Angela? Look at how many people do it and they do it better than you. Their platforms are bigger than yours. Oh, you think I don't hear that? You think I don't see it? But you see, the beauty of the law is it's like light. It doesn't stay hidden. It doesn't stay hidden. And the platform is growing. That just means we're getting the law out so that people have the power to change their lives. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. And that's why I don't judge myself. I just say, okay, what do I need to do? Market, 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 market. Get the law out. That's why. Because I'm not here to give you a technique. There is no technique. Live the law. Live it. All those techniques that Neville shared with us, very valuable. Very, very valuable, sure. He is awesome. But now it's time to go beyond them. You have to understand where the technique comes from. And that's the thing. A lot of people love him, but what they didn't go beyond was the technique. This is why he wrote that book, The Law and the Promise. He wanted people to see the promise, which was the law. And that's why we share in conjunction and we expand on what Neville did. Because he was right. But a lot of people don't see the depth of his wisdom. Right? Or they don't understand it. But that's why when you teach the law and you use scripture, you see, the law is everywhere. And the law has been hidden in the scripture. It has been. And so the encouragement for you guys today is to assess your situation, recognize where you are at, and then decide where you want to be, and the steps will unfold for you. And somebody, I'll share this with you. Somebody heard one of my narrations on Clubhouse and said to me, I would like to do something to help you. I'm great at coding. Can I build you something? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know what I need. Because that's not where I focus. That's not where I think. But you see, all the necessary, because what did I say? My focus is to do what? Get the word out. That's my focus. And here's this person coming along and saying, I want to help you. You see, that's what I'm telling you today. Live the law, and Neville calls it a bridge of incidents. Things just happen that move you along. That's what this person is doing. And then I was saying, well, how do I get, that's why I keep telling you, I always say, how do I get the law out? And then Double A sends me artwork. And I was like, merch, what? And then Ultra sends me artwork. And I'm like, wow, I have something I can put in the hands of people. So when I tell you to stay focused on the end, which is the law is in the ears and in the hearts of as many people as possible, the ones who want to hear it and the ones who want to change, get me there. That's where the end is. That's what I want people to do. To recognize so they don't have to struggle and suffer anymore. That's the old way of doing things. And all of these little things are showing up. And I am taking full advantage of them because they're what I asked for. But if I'm busy complaining, then I don't see the opportunities. That's what I'm encouraging you with today. That's why I say, know the law and practice it. Know it and practice it, my beautiful friends. It is such a beautiful thing. And it is such a privilege and a pleasure to do it. Right? So remember what Queen Marat told us to do today. Like, share, subscribe. Yeah. And I will see you again. Remember to message me if you have a testimonial you'd like to share so you can come on here with me and you can share it. Or if you're shy and you don't want to come on, tell me what the testimonial is and I'll share it for you. But let's encourage each other. And 359, if you're still here, it was really good to see you today. It really was. Yeah. I love you all. And I thank you for being here. Much love, everybody. Much love. Go forth and assess your situation and implement the change. Much love.